Good evening. I'm Andy Thayer with the Gay Liberation Network, and tonight we're very proud to have Ifti Nasim, who he's got a long list of accomplishments. He's a Midwest editor of Pakistan News. He's the host of the weekly Sargam radio program, and we'll get the call sign for that in a little bit. He's also an internationally renowned poet in the Urdu language and English language. He's the first published gay Urdu language poet in the world, and he's always jetting all over the place around the world, but tomorrow he's going to be up on Devon Avenue. Ifti is a leading member of the Pakistani-American community here in Chicago, and he's been playing a leading role in putting together a very important peace event tomorrow. Ifti, could you tell us a little bit why this event tomorrow? What's going on?
Thank you, Andy. The thing is that what we are trying to do is, with all the barrage of everybody's calling war, attacking this country, attacking that country, and we're seeing the result of war, what is going on to American economy. I've been living here for long enough, and I'm not going any place because I want to stay here, because this is my country. When you are born, you have no choice which family you are born or which country you are born, which place. But I choose this country, and I've seen the beauty of this country when we had the freedom. At this point, every immigrant is suspect of everything, which you can call either terrorism or all that kind of stuff. Recently, with all the question of talking about attacking Pakistan and attacking Iran, attacking sending
more troops to
Afghanistan and Iraq, and you have seen the results. So we decided that we should have a peace march and rally, anti-war rally, and thanks to you that we decided we're going to be on Devon Avenue. Devon Avenue, as you know, is a hub of Indian, Pakistani, Bangladeshi community. There's all kind of people over there. Americans are there, and this is basically it's a North Ridge or Rajas Park area where all the movements of 60s were starting, most of the time. And I think this is about time that we should get together and tell the government that there should be no war and no profiling of the immigrants. No raids on the immigrants. Immigrants are the source of economy of this country, big source of economy. So that's why we decided that we're going to have the rally tomorrow. And I hope you people can come who are watching and tell your friends to come to the rally. Because speak up, because it's going to be at 2200 West Devon Avenue, which is Levitt and Devon.
Just 2 blocks east of Western Avenue.
And it's going up to Washtenaw, which is Rockwell, 6 blocks west of Western Avenue. It's going to be a very peaceful rally. We are just going to walk. with the banners in our hands, and we will, chant few things. And I think hopefully the weather will be very good.
Yes.
And even if it's not good, remember what we did in February? It was minus 10 degree, and people were there.
February
so
of 2003, there were thousands out there.
It's a good cause, so come, please.
Well, and the reason why we chose October 11th for this particular event is that is the anniversary of the date that Congress gave President George W. Bush the blank check to invade Iraq. And we saw what happened with that. And now you have not only John McCain talking about a troop surge into Afghanistan, not only talking about more, larger standing army, you have Barack Obama, who has been supporting these cross-border attacks into Pakistan. For those who pay close attention to the internet, there have been U.S. attacks into Pakistan on almost a daily basis over the past several weeks. Tens of thousands of Pakistani-Americans are now refugees within their own country thanks to these bombing attacks. And so if you think that the Iraq war was a disaster, just look at what they're planning for Pakistan and what they're planning for Afghanistan as well. Both major presidential candidates are talking about a troop surge into Afghanistan, in spite of the British intelligence reports basically saying that war is lost. It's a drug war that the United States, there's no way they can win. They can't win the drug war in Colombia. And now Afghanistan, under the U.S. installed leader there, is source of 90% of the world's heroin.
Here's the situation. I'm going to go a little bit further. Pakistan was always friend of America. From the birth of Pakistan, we've been friends of America, and that's how we earned a lot of enemies. Because a lot of people don't like America because of whatever the reason was. But Pakistan stood by America. And you are shooting your friends. That's what you are paying, paying your friend with. That after you have done the work, Russia left Afghanistan and Pakistan helped America there. And all that. Now you are shooting Pakistanis. That's what you pay. For that's what you pay your friends with. So this is basically war is not a profitable business right now. It never was. It never will be. Boeing. It's a Pyrrhic victory. Even if you win, you lose so much you cannot be a victor.
Well, and we've got this horrible economic situation right now, and we've already spent $1 trillion, according to some reports, and some are saying that at the end of the day, what we'll pay for just Iraq and Afghanistan, let alone Iran and potentially and Pakistan, we might end up paying $1 trillion for just those two wars, let alone the wider war into potentially Iran, where we already have special forces troops on the ground, according to very reliable sources, and of course Pakistan, where thousands of people have been displaced thanks to the United States
and
attacks.
Those people are living up in the mountains. They don't even have a water. They got no food and nothing, no place to go. And the closest road is about 6 miles up and down, 6 miles up and down. And I don't understand what America will get out of that, you know. And why to always make enemy of everybody who was once your friend? Pakistan, like I said, is my birth country. I was born, but I'm a Pakistani-American. America is my country now. But America taught me to speak up against injustice. So that's why I'm speaking against this. That don't attack Pakistan. Let the Pakistan stay your friend. Don't attack Iraq. Get out of there. Don't attack Afghanistan. Get out of there. Anywhere in the world America is in, there's a disaster. And it's a ripple effect. It affects American economy also.
Yeah. And so if you want to participate in this march that Ifti is talking about, it's 2 p.m. tomorrow at 2200 West Devon. You can easily get there by taking the Red Line L to the Loyola stop and then just taking the Devon Avenue bus west, or you can come north on the Western bus. We're going to do a quick announcement here of something that's coming up here. Those who've watched our previous shows knows that probably America's #1 hater of gays, one James Dobson of the Focus on the Family, is going to be visiting Chicago to unfortunately receive an award from the Museum of Broadcast Communications. There will be a protest at in front of the hotel where he's receiving that award at 5:30 to 7:30 p.m. on Saturday, November 8th, and we encourage people to come to that protest. When we're talking about a situation where there's economic crisis, people afraid of losing their savings, that's when scapegoating increases, not just against gays, but against immigrants and others.
Everybody.
And that's why someone like James Dobson is particularly dangerous in the current situation. While Ifti and I talk about going back to the event tomorrow, I wanted to show on the screen here some scenes of past anti-war marches here. That was January 11th, 2003. It was about 10 degrees out that day.
I don't remember that. It was crazy.
Yes, and that's more from that there. Well, that's yours truly up on the stage at Federal Plaza.
I know.
Whoops, there we go. Now these pictures here, they're a little smaller here, the resolution, all that. This is from the February 15th, 2003 demonstration, which Ifti was a key organizer of back on Devon Avenue just before the war started. There's Reverend Paul Jake speaking from the stage. Just north of Devon Avenue that time, and here's some more pictures here from the Devon Avenue March, and we'll get some more photos up there real quick. Again, more scenes from the march there, and here we go, very fancy graphics. This was the protest from the start of the war on March 20th, 2003. People flooding Federal Plaza there. More people and a lot of young people, as you see, out at these protests. People are very angry. In fact, a lot of these people, the 18 or 19-year-olds, they've known only a country at war, and that's really sad. Now, so you see you can see part of the logo there on the screen. That's our Gay Liberation Network banner on the right there as we marched up Lakeshore Drive at the start of the war.
Oh, God.
Right there. And the police then later had their revenge on that demonstration.
But that's a shame. That's really, it's like old Mayor Daley's time.
Yes. You know. Well, and the United States was in the process of killing thousands of Iraqis. Ultimately now over 1 million Iraqis are dead thanks to that war. And the people who get attacked then, of course, are the peace protesters. There's someone had a cell phone. They took that picture from inside Squadrol. So, anyways, these scenes from the past there. This is a call-in show, and we'll take your calls. I believe we've got Joe on the line here. Yes, Joe, you're on CAN TV.
Are you going to allow me to voice my opinion? This is the deal about Iraq, okay? First of all, it's a haven for terrorists. They have been proven that terrorists have their training grounds there.
They'd only had the training ground once the United States invaded, unfortunately. There was no Al-Qaeda in Iraq until the United States invaded.
Moreover, Joe, whatever they feed you through the media, you believe in that. But the thing is, you have seen it. They were living very peacefully before America invaded Iraq. And now they don't even have a water, electricity, nothing. What haven you are talking about? When you go to somebody's home and you kicked his wife and children and killed them right in front of you, what do you expect? If they protest, they are terrorists.
Yeah, well, and remember, the same media that's telling you that their supposed terrorist training groups were the same folks who were saying there were weapons of mass destruction in Iraq.
And there were none.
The fact is that George W. Bush lied, and Congress was either stupid or gullible or cynical enough to believe his lies, even though there was plenty of evidence that there weren't weapons of mass destruction in Iraq, and they invaded, and they've killed over 1 million Iraqis. And if it's any wonder why so many people around the world are angry at the United States, if someone killed 1 million, not 3,000, but 1 million Americans, how do you think people in this country would feel about the perpetrators of those crimes?
Not only that, they have not even killed 1 million Americans. Still people are hating Muslim Iraqis so much because of the propaganda, false propaganda. So please, please wake up and see that there's nothing that sorts of going on which you are fed here in this country.
Don't be a chump for George W. Bush's propaganda. He's the same one, there's the same clowns that forced you to fork over $700 billion to the bankers just a few weeks ago, and many more billions coming after that, the way things are going now.
We got no jobs here. Nothing going on. Look at this, everything is falling apart.
And I think it's important to point out that in these kind of economic circumstances, they're going to be looking for scapegoats. They already are. They're saying immigrants are the problem, or they're saying gay people are the problems, or they're saying African Americans are the problems. We have to take 10 steps back and say, look, we can either be idiots and fight amongst ourselves that, white working class people can fight Latinos, they can fight African Americans, can fight gays, can fight whomever, and we all participate in a race to the bottom, or we can say, look, the people that are getting us into trouble are the same ones who are saying you got to fork over $700 billion to the bank. The same ones who are saying you've got to have a troop surge into Afghanistan and let working class people die in a greater war in Afghanistan. Or pick a fight with the Iranians, who are themselves surrounded by nuclear powers, nuclear-armed Russia on the north, nuclear-armed India, nuclear-armed Pakistan on the east, nuclear-armed Israel on the west, nuclear aircraft carriers of the United States in the south. And Iran is surrounded by nuclear-armed powers.
That's right.
And the United States has got the chutzpah to say, oh, you can't develop nuclear weapons?
Yeah. I mean, this is amazing. First of all, nobody has that nuclear power, who wants to have a nuclear power? Everybody, that's a fear which we put in another person's heart when they want to have that.
Well, and George Bush is right in the process right now of inking a nuclear deal with India, which is not a signer to the Nuclear Non-Proliferation Treaty. So I think we have to look at the hypocrisy of the certified liars, such as George Bush, and a little more self-reflection. But we do have another caller here, I believe, Dennis. Hello, Dennis. You're on CAN TV. What's your question or comment, please?
My question is, you said that they say that immigrants are the problem, or they say that gays are the problem. Who is they? That just sounds like the typical speech pattern of a paranoid. You don't give any specifics. You have a very naive outlook.
James Dobson, for one, is saying that gays are destroying the family with equal marriage rates. He said it over and over again. You've got Jim Oberroyce, who's running for Congress in one of the western districts, who's saying that immigrants are the problems and the cause of unemployment. He's the one who ran those ads a few elections ago showing all these illegal immigrants, so-called, filling up Soldier Field. So you don't have to be very perceptive to know that there is already a great deal of scapegoating going on, and we're fools if we fall for it. I mean, who benefits from this hate? Certainly, I don't believe that white working class folks benefit from it.
And Sarah Palin too, remember?
Yeah, Sarah Palin.
She doesn't even know where Pakistan is, and she was saying we're going to attack Pakistan.
She can't see it from her window, so she's not well versed on that particular foreign affair.
She doesn't even know probably where New York is. So she wanted to say she wants to attack Pakistan.
But you can't let the Democrats off the hook on this one either. I mean, you've got Barack Obama talking about bombing Iran to the Tribune editorial board just a couple years ago.
It was a very sad thing.
It's not like any political party is innocent in this. We have to look critically at all political parties, all political leaders, and I think recognize that true human freedom has never been granted to us by politicians, but have been the movements of regular folks who have won every freedom that we hold dear in this country. The freedom to assemble has been won by people exercising that right in the streets.
This is the same pattern which McCarthyism era was. You know, moment you speak, moment you say something, either you are a commie, you know, communist, or you are, you know, against the country, you are unpatriotic and all that. I want this country to stay powerful, and so I should feel safer. You know, because that's the reason. I don't want nothing to happen to America. So please remember this one. When you go and attack everybody else's, they're gonna come back
and attack
you.
Yeah.
So what do you expect? You know, stop attacking people. Stop attacking immigrants. Stop profiling them. Stop profiling Muslims. Now, just now in Elmhurst College, there's a Muslim girl where you know, she was beaten. And it was already getting the message, die Muslim, die. You know, remember this kind of hatred which every ethnic community has gone through this in this country. Why to start all this? We are talking these kind of things in 2008.
Yeah, and there's been reports of racist epithets being yelled out at Sarah Palin rallies over the past few days. This isn't just me saying, this is Associated Press and so forth. And so we've got a very dangerous situation in this country. We've got probably time for another caller here. Yes, Mike, what's your question or comment, please?
Hey, how you guys doing? I think what you're doing is a really good thing.
Thank you.
I would just add that essentially what the politicians are trying to do was divide everybody, divide and conquer.
Yes.
So don't please fall into that, and God bless you. Keep the program going.
Thank you, and please do come tomorrow if you can to Devon Avenue.
Yes, 2 p.m., 2200 West Devon Avenue. It's really... The politicians have shown they're not going to lead. I mean, people were pushing for Barack Obama, hoping that he'd be a peace candidate. Instead, he's talking about permanent bases in Iraq. He's talking about a troop surge into Afghanistan. He's talking about a larger standing army when the United States is already clearly going broke, and yet he wants a larger standing army. This is so against so many of his own supporters who really want a peace candidate, and unfortunately they're being served up more of George Bush.
That's the same
We've had enough of that.
The same agenda which George Bush has got. So it's now they're speaking in a different tone, but it's the same thing what they're talking.
Yeah.
So George Bush did the same thing. So what basically comes to the level: stop attacking the countries and make friends. America needs friends now, not the enemy.
I'd like, we just got a few more minutes here in the show, and just like to make a few closing announcements again. In addition to the demonstration, 2 p.m. tomorrow, 2200 West Devon, that's the place to be if you feel passionately against this war. In addition to that, if you're against hate mongers like Focus on the Family's James Dobson, who, as I said, has been quoted any number of times saying that gays are going to destroy the family, basically scapegoating our community. And Ifti, I'm proud to say, is a member not only of the Pakistani-American community, but also a leading figure in the lesbian, gay, bisexual, and transgendered community.
Thank you.
And
I'm a Muslim.
And a Muslim, so there you go.
Imagine.
You
Muslims
get a
are not terrorists.
You get a trifecta there with Ifti. I'd like to invite people who are interested in the Gay Liberation Network and doing the sort of work that we do to check out our next meeting. We meet the first Wednesday of each month at Gerberhardt Library, which is Chicago's Gay and Lesbian Resource Center at 1127 West Granville Street, just west of the Red Line L stop. First Wednesday of the month. Please drop on by and join us. The meetings run 7 to 9 p.m. And check out our next program on CAN TV, 6:30 p.m. on this same channel on Friday, November 14th. And so if you want to finally get in touch with our website here, you'll see a whole bunch of things, including past shows of ours on CAN TV. There's links to many of them there. Just check out our website, www.gayliberation.net. Again, this has been Andy Thayer with the Gay Liberation Network. We're so proud to have Ifti Nasim with us today.
Thank you.
Be there, 2200 West Devon Avenue tomorrow, 2 p.m. That's where you can really make a difference. So thanks for watching tonight.
Thank you for watching.
And we'll see you next month.